Hello everyone, so this is Laura from the coordination desk of the 10YP Sustainable Public Procurement Program. Welcome to this webinar. So I'm sitting here next to Andrew, who's a knowledge manager at the Secretariat of the 10YP. So this webinar will be a quick introductory session to get you started using the SCP Clearinghouse website. We would like this website to become a platform for all our partners to communicate on initiatives related to the 10YP program, and in particular the Sustainable Public Procurement program, and also to make new connections among partners. I'd say there are many good reasons to start using the website. And all these reasons can be summarized in 3 main points. So the first one is that the website allows you to showcase your work to the wider sustainable consumption and production community. And we would like you to use this website as an additional communication tool and platform to communicate about your own initiatives related to SPP. Secondly, the website allows you to link the work you do in SPP and sustainable consumption and production more generally to the 10YP agenda. So your initiatives and resources, once they are uploaded to the website, they will be seen as contributing to the goals of the 10YP, and in particular also the goals of the SDG number 12 related to responsible consumption and production. Lastly, the SCP Clearinghouse allows you to connect with other people and other organizations working in the same field of SPP and sustainable consumption production more widely. I will give the floor now to Andrew, who is going to show us some statistics regarding the website to show you how wide we actually managed to reach thanks to this communications platform. And then he's going to walk you through some of the technical aspects and all the features of the website.
Yep, thank you, Laura. So as she said, I'm Andrew. I work with the 10YP Secretariat on knowledge management, and that principally means working with this SCP Clearinghouse. So as she said, I'll quickly just go through a couple of numbers which we have recently been able to access more thoroughly due to getting some more intensive Google Analytics and visualization tools for some of these statistics set up. So, I mean, I don't need to go through them in too many details. You'll have these slides. We can send them over to you, but just a couple numbers here as they relate to generally the audience on the SCP Clearinghouse, and then more specifically to the SPP program. And what they basically show is that there is a lot of traffic going through this platform, and that the SPP hubs of the platform, and in no small part thanks to the work of Laura and others within that program, is one of the most viewed and trafficked areas of this platform. So again, I'm not going to go through the exact numbers here. We can give the slides over to you. And what I wanted to do next is just to quickly go through kind of some of the ins and the outs of the different features on this platform, and how, really practically you, and by you I mean those out there in the network of the Sustainable Public Procurement program or any of the 10YFP programs, can use this to, as Laura was saying, showcase your work and contribute to a larger agenda, and really use it to make connections with others to bring this knowledge offline for concrete collaborations. Before I start, I was just going to see if there's any questions, and it looks like there is one in the chat box. I'm just going to see what that is. And it's just Kara saying that everything's working now with the audio, so good to hear. And let's take a quick look at the platform. We decided, instead of doing a PowerPoint for this, we thought it might be more interesting just to look directly at the clearinghouse. So give me a moment while I find the clearinghouse, and we'll get going. There we are. So I'm logged into the profile of a member of the 10YFP program who has a similar profile as all of you, as a partner in one of the programs, so that you can see kind of what what you see when you're logged in. So this is the personal dashboard called the My SCP of the Clearinghouse, and when you create an account, this is where you're going to be taken first. It's most of it is relatively self-explanatory. This is kind of on like a lot of websites. You can see, what you're doing, who you're connected with. One thing that I did want to point out on with regards to the MySCP space is a new section, which if you've been in recently in the last month or so have noticed, on the reporting specifically. As you probably are aware, the official 10YFP reporting is going on right now through January. And in order to kind of streamline this with regards to the pilot reporting last year when it was all done offline, basically using an Excel table, we have moved it all online using existing survey tool softwares, and so you can access all of that directly on your own personal space of the clearinghouse. Another thing is that if you are reporting on any activities that are related to content that you've already submitted to the clearinghouse, you do that right through here, and those activities then are linked to the initiatives in the clearinghouse. So it's another incentive, let's say, to get your content in the clearinghouse beyond just the fact that, again, as we'll talk about, and as Laura mentioned, this is where you can showcase a lot of your work. This is also going to make life easier in terms of reporting on progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals and towards the 10YFP, because the content that you submit in the clearinghouse will then be, funneled back into your own personal MySCP space, and then it's from there that then you report activities on those initiatives. If you haven't already been in one, I believe that my colleagues who are working more specifically on the reporting are doing different presentations and have different guides and things like that. So if you need any more information on the reporting itself, please, you can be in touch with me, and I'll make sure that your inquiries get to the right people so they can get back to you with how-to guides and things like that for the reporting. More specifically on the clearinghouse itself, like I said, once you create an account, you come here. I assume that most people in the webinar here already have an account. If you don't, just to let you know that if you click on that MySCP and you don't have an account, you'll see an option to set one up. It's like LinkedIn or anything else. It takes just a minute. You fill in some basic information. Importantly for actors in the 10YFP program is there is an area when you sign up, just a question you'll see asking whether you have a role in the 10YFP. If you do, you say, yes, I'm a partner. I'm a partner of what program? SPP. And once that role is approved by the coordination desk, that's what gives you then the ability to see this reporting tab, because that's only for those with roles in the 10YFP. And so you won't see that unless you have an approved role in the 10YFP. And that is also relevant in a couple other areas, which we'll get into now. In terms of the clearinghouse itself, I'll just very quickly, the home page is similar to home pages on a lot of websites out there. So you have areas here in terms of highlighting your work. There's a in the spotlight section on the home page where we can put whatever it is that we like. So for example, if you or any of your partners have content that you've submitted into the clearinghouse and you want it really to be put front and center, please be in touch and we can do that here. And just to let you know, again, with the new capacities that we have in terms of analyzing data and analyzing traffic to the website, we have seen in the past month that what we feature here really is driving traffic to those resources and those other pieces of content. So please don't hesitate to be in touch if you'd like us to feature any of your work on here. You can access the database through the homepage, which I'll get to in just a moment. Of course, information about the 10YFP programs, and then again, one of the other large aspects behind the clearinghouse is that it really is a place to connect with actual people, which I think makes it stand out from a lot of other websites out there, is that it's a membership-driven platform. So there's now more than 3,600 individuals on there who we'll see in just a moment. You can search through on all sorts of filters to find information out about who's doing what and where and how you can connect. A couple other features that I think you might find interesting is one of the main ones of the clearinghouse is the databases. So there is a database of initiatives, projects, activities, whatever you want to call it, There's another one we call the Knowledge Hub, which is more resources, publications, toolkits, guidelines, things like that. We'll take a look at them real quickly now. And again, just to stress that as partners in the 10YFP program, this is where you can go and showcase your work. And when I say you, I really mean that you don't need to rely on the coordination desk or the secretariat or anyone like that. If you have a membership on the platform, you can go to share your initiative. Of course, there is then a validation process, particularly if you want to be in the official portfolio of the programs, which Laura will get into in a moment. But just to emphasize that these really are places for you to show others across the world what you're doing, and for you to find out what others are doing and how you can maybe connect. So you have the map here, for example. One way to access all of this is you want to see what's going on in Europe and Central Asia. There you go. You have the number of initiatives in the database right now from that region, and also the number of members. So if you click on that members, then you'll go automatically to the members directory filtered by individuals just from that region. Same thing, if you click on there, you'll go to the list of initiatives filtered by people just from that region. You can go down another level. So you click on Finland and see that, in just Finland, there's this many initiatives, this many members. So that's one way to access information. All that same information is then in list form here. You have a kind of little label, quick look with a snapshot of what's going on with these projects. You can either search in a search bar or by any of these, by country, by region, by 10YFP program, for example. So the SPP program right now has only one initiative with the official logo in it, which is one of the reasons we're having this, to encourage the other partners across the network that they are able to submit this to. In the case of SPP, I know that they focus very heavily right now on the resource aspect. So if you go to the Knowledge Hub, that's another story, and they have many more in there linked to their program than any of the other programs, I believe. So this is just a quick look at the database. Then, of course, you click on any of these and you have a bit more detailed look. And again, the purpose of this is not to have organizations go and repeat just their entire website. So all of you have your own organizational websites with the information on there. This is really to take 5 minutes and provide a snapshot. You provide as little or as much as you want. So you put a couple sentences on the objectives, the activities, who you can get in touch with, where's the website if you want more information, and that's it. And so it provides an easy way for people to search across themes and sectors and regions and countries to get a picture of what's going on without, repeating all of the kind of dense information that you can find on those websites. It's really to let people have a window into what's going on and provide them information on who they can be in touch with and how they can find out more information if they want to. So, like I said, there is another database which is very similar, so I won't spend too much time on it. But again, the Knowledge Hub is more for publications and written material and things like that. As you can see, the Sustainable Public Procurement has more than 100 already that are in here, and so it's the same kind of thing. You have a quick look here, and then you can click and get a little more detailed information, as well as information on who you can get in touch with if you would like more info on any of that. The other main aspect of the clearinghouse, from my perspective, other than what we've just gone through in terms of a place to share information and a place to showcase information and a place to find information, is it being a platform in terms of making actual connections. And so, as I mentioned before, there's a fully searchable members directory with kind of little business cards with all of the members who have registered. Again, this is searchable on all sorts of criteria, including role within the 10YFP. So please use that in terms of making connections. The other big one, which I'm not going to spend a ton of time on here, but I've done a webinar on before and will, I think, do more webinars on, is what we have called the exchange spaces. And these are essentially online collaboration hubs. Sorry, it's making me log back in again. The exchange spaces are essentially places to share documents or have discussions or organize events, either in public or private spheres. So if your organization or your group wants to set up something like a help desk or a forum, this is a place where you can do that, and all you need to do is just be in touch and let us know whether you want it to be public or private. Then you can have the administration rights over it. You can invite people to the group. You can customize it however you want. And again, these can all have a similar template of having a calendar for organizing events, discussions, document sharing, task division. So this can be used from anything as similar to a kind of a glorified Dropbox, all the way up to a much more intense collaboration space for you and your partners. So just to quickly touch on that, I think I'm going to pass it back over to finish up then with Laura going a bit more into the specific SPP part of the website, because beyond the first two things that I've mentioned, the databases and the possibilities for connection, that all kind of comes together through the kind of miniature universes of each of the 10YFP programs. So maybe just first see if there's any questions from anyone, and if there's not, we'll move on to Laura just explaining a bit about the SPP. So are there any questions at this point? I think you can chat or raise your hand using the little hand raise icon. Not seeing anything. So I'm going to pass it over to Laura just to give a quick look specifically at what's going on in the SPP universe of the Clearinghouse.
So this page you're seeing now on your screen is the home page for the Sustainable Public Procurement Program. So you see that all the pages on the website follow a similar structure. So here, just like on the main homepage of the website, you have this spotlight section. And as you can see right now, we're sharing news about the latest partner who joined the network, the latest resource that we published within the program, and we also have a news page that we try to keep updated on a monthly basis regarding everything that we do within the framework of the 10YP program. We do also have a Twitter account, which allows for more weekly based communications, and you can find it by typing 10YP_SPP. And what we'd also would like to use a spotlight section for is to focus on the initiatives that are going to be uploaded by our partners. So we do encourage you to try to feed information into the databases that Andrew just showed you a couple of minutes ago, and we will try as much as possible to feature these resources and initiatives coming from our partners in the spotlight section. And you're also very welcome to contact us to ask us to include one of your initiatives into one of these three boxes up here. If you go further down, I can see there is a question. So let me just. So Ted is asking if the shared exchange spaces if they can be used as a means to post a multiple recorded webinar. I think that would be a question for you.
Yeah, Ted, I can come maybe back to you bilaterally if I look into that. There are all sorts of different file kind of types accepted, and I think it would be more a matter of the size of the file that might be an issue. We're using an existing technical architecture called Open Atrium software, which is quite complex and in a good way, in the sense that it has a lot of different features available beyond what we've kind of activated so far for the basic template. So I'll need to just check on that. I assume that you mean, for example, if we record a webinar like this, can we post it on there to be listened to afterwards? But let me check on that for you.
Okay, so that was a question regarding the exchange spaces. So jumping back to the SPP homepage, we see that going further down the page, we have a section called Actors of the Program, and this is basically a members directory of the entire program. So if you click here, you see all actors. And this page here is the reason why it's very important to create your own profile, because you see that next to each organization there are contact information for the representatives of that organization within the program. So you're able to click on the name and find the email address and other information regarding that person and involved within the organization and within the program. Scrolling down, you will see the section called Portfolio of Work, and this is where everything that was described by Andrew a few minutes ago regarding the resources and the initiatives come into play. So as already mentioned, we have mainly focused on the resources databases and so far, but the next chapter in the program is definitely going to be to focus more on the initiative databases, and that's why I invite all of you to upload all the initiatives you are running that are somehow connected to SPP to the database, as Andrew showed you earlier. And then on the second page of the uploading section, you will be asked whether your initiative contributes to one of the 10YP programs, and in that case then you can click yes and choose the SPP program. And then once the coordination desk has reviewed your input, your initiative, then your initiative will appear on the website with the 10YP logo, 10YP SPP logo, sorry, and it will appear also once you click here on the portfolio of work. So if we keep scrolling down, is just some information regarding how to join a 10YP program, which this should not be interesting if you are already part of the program. But so this is the main features of the SPP page in particular. And I think we've covered most of the websites and what could be interesting for you as SPP partners. And I just wanted to hear if anybody has any questions or if Andrew has anything else to add.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, please, the floor is definitely open. I think kind of the main point that we wanted to get across as we do these kind of program specific webinars is that this platform should be seen as a tool by all of you and an opportunity by all of you to use kind of as little or as much as is convenient in terms of adding value to what it is that you're doing and seeing the added value of participating in a platform like this. So we don't want it to be looked at as a burden or kind of an obstacle, but rather a way to in 5 minutes provide again kind of snapshots of the work that you're doing, so that can be seen on by audiences around the globe, and that they can easily be in touch when they need to. And that's the most successful stories that I've had from users and organizations coming out of this platform is just that. It's someone from country X who wants to know what's going on in their region, and they can do a quick search through and find either the projects or going down in the level, the actual people who are involved in different areas of sustainable consumption and production, and that's where I think the added value comes in here in terms of a place for really making connections. And then that's of course all intertwined within the 10YFP programs, which are designed to be facilitating those connections between different stakeholders. So just use this as a tool for showcasing what it is that you're doing and making connections with others who are interested in what you're doing, and how you can then kind of take this offline, because at the end of the day, it's not about just storing a bunch of information on a website. It's about making those connections, taking that knowledge offline, and doing things together on the ground. So that's kind of my I guess takeaway, or at least what I'm trying to give as a takeaway from these presentations. And again, if there's any questions, the floor is open right now.
Okay, so there does not seem to be any other questions, so that means that we managed to answer them all during the webinar, so that's great. But if you are in doubt about anything, or if you have ideas about how to contribute and how to add new initiatives, resources, what kind of things we could focus on through this this website, then you're very welcome to contact either Andrew or myself. And well, we thank you very much for participating, and we hope to stay in touch with you very soon about the website.
Yeah, and we'll send these slides, and also, well, then you'll have our contact information in case some of you don't, because I realize we didn't actually put that up on the screen. But you'll get all of that from us, and we'll put the recording up online as well. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you.